The Warratory discovery was made as part of a broader archaeological research project into the Aboriginal occupation of the Flinders Ranges in arid South Australia for my PhD. This was a partnership project with the traditional Aboriginal owners from the Flinders Ranges, the Adjamatna Traditional Lands Association. The main research question was to test the hypothesis that Aboriginal people had been living in the Flinders Ranges for more than 35,000 years ago. The rock shelter site was discovered in a remote part of the northern Flinders Ranges, in some gorges surrounded by rock art sites and semi-permanent springs. The site itself provided good shelter from the extremes of cold and heat that people might have experienced, and it gave people access to the surrounding gorges where they could easily hunt and gather for local food resources. Its geological structure was quite unique and rare, and this is why we think people were attracted to it, because it was quite significant.
G'day, I'm Peter Mitchell and I'm stuck down here under Emu Rock Shelter in the bed of a creek while Giles takes some pickies. He wants me to tell you all about the geology. Well, if you look across to the rock shelter over here, you'll see that the beds of quartzite have got a bit of a bend in them. They dip down to the south, all the way across, and they're almost horizontal in the middle as a bit of an arch feature. It's really what we'd call a small anticline or an upwards fold. Each bed of quartzite is separated by a finer grained bed of argillite, which is a metamorphosed mudstone. All of this stuff was laid down in a seafloor way back in the Precambrian about 600 million years ago. And then it got hardened up and pushed up into this folded shape, and after that it got pushed again from different directions, and cleavage is broken up all through it, giving lots and lots of fracture planes. The fine-grained sediments fracture much more closely than the quartzite does, and so in the tops of the arches, if the fine-grained sediments are at the top and they're all broken up, they tend to fall out and make a little rock cavern, and then the heavier, more solid quartzite beds make an arch which allow the cavern to stand there. And that's what we've got with the Emu Rock Shelter.
The excavation was carried out over a number of field seasons, with 2 trenches being dug to test the extent of human occupation across the shelter's floor. We sieved around 3 tonnes of soil and excavated around 3 cubic metres of sediment. As a result of this work, we recovered around 4,300 stone artefacts and 3 kilograms of bone material, as well as charcoal, ochre, eggshell and plant remains.